And here we are.
Hey, guys.
We're here.
What's up?
We're live.
Happy Tuesday.
Not too much on the docket tonight.
Yeah, well, I mean, the football world as far as NFL
It's
is
over. The new season began yesterday.
Is coming. What?
The new season began yesterday.
So, should I...
The day after the Super Bowl, the new season begins.
Oh, well, that.
Yep.
I mean, is that what you
The Bills
consider
are
the start of the new
Bills are this
season?
year's Super Bowl champions.
I read some power rankings today. I think it was on Instagram, and I think it was Chiefs
and Bills are tied in the betting market.
And then I think after that, it might have been the
that Busch
Bengals.
Light can is sick.
You not seen that?
Bro,
He's
that
had those ones every.
This
They've been those for the last couple times he's been here. It was the first time you seen him. Yeah. The first time he came, I saw them in the bag that he had them in, and I didn't even realize they were Busch cans. I was like, "What the fuck are you drinking?"
It's funny because they made so many of the cans that they had actual camo cases that were in them, but now it's just regular cases filled with those cans because the cans are still out there and they need to get rid of them, so they're packaging them in the normal cases now. It's kind of trippy.
Oh, they're those cans in the regular blue
cases.
Oh,
like,
I didn't.
They're sick.
I'm because they still have plenty of the cans.
I just never understood, and like I get the reasoning behind the camo with the orange is so other hunters don't shoot you,
right?
But isn't it a little counterintuitive to have everything you're wearing is camouflage to make you blend in,
but you're wearing an orange vest.
But you're also wearing a bright orange vest. Like, can the animals not see orange? Are they? Are deer?
That actually is a good question. They might not be able to.
They might not be able to.
They might not be able to.
Yeah, but if they are, what's the point of the camo? Like if they
right.
can't, if they like, why?
I think it's probably
like,
just a social thing to show you're going hunting. That's why.
I mean, but that's the way it was always explained to me. It's like, well, you wear the camo, but then you wear the yellow. So if another hunter sees you, they don't shoot you, but they're like, oh, it's another hunter. But like, does the animal not see the yellow and be like, oh shit?
I've
like,
actually never thought that.
There's a hunter up in the. It's like it's the weirdest combination of colors. Like, let's do camo.
Yeah, exactly.
Welcome to the show, guys. We are back with Is This Football? Me, Dan. I'm here with my two extremely ugly friends,
Hello.
Remy and Edward.
What's up, guys?
Here I am.
Welcome to another show. We got a lot of stuff to talk about, a little bit of everything. We're obviously going to be discussing the Super Bowl. But without any further ado,
let's get into it.
Let's do it, guys.
I'm ready. I'm ready. Let's go.
Welcome back to the podcast, guys. Like I said, this is the Is This Football podcast.
Is this football?
I'm Dan. I'm joined by my two lovely, very handsome friends. It was a lovely Christmas joke earlier. Like I said, every time I say you're handsome, you're like, oh, no.
You had to be there.
I feel like this is going to be the
very neutral-looking friends.
I think this is going to be the intro every single time.
Nothing distinct about either one of them. Not good-looking, not bad-looking. They're both just oblong shapes.
Just one baby tooth. A distinct baby tooth.
Well, to start off, obviously the biggest night in American sports, pretty much for all intents and purposes, the Super Bowl. We just had it 2 days ago. Rams Bengals.
Wow.
It went. I did enjoy the game. I thought it was close. I think it was what the final score 23-20.
Yes.
It was decided by 3 points. The Bengals they went down early and then came back and were leading for the majority of the game, which I liked. And I was the whole time I was kind of like, hey, they could possibly do this. Joe Burrow might be pulling off a large upset and setting up one. I mean, the fact that he could have been the...
Yeah, I wonder what price you would have gotten on them at the start of the year.
Well, at the start of the year.
I mean, they were 4-12 last year.
I don't even think they were projected to get out of that division.
No, I know. So at the start of the year, you would have got 50-1 easy.
50-1? That sounds about right. Yeah. I think the
Cleveland
Browns
the worst teams
shot
are
the bed.
usually 100-1.
Yeah, well, that's like the Jacksonville Jaguars, Houston Texans, but I mean, it's way harder for one of those teams to get all the way. But
yeah, because at least Cincinnati had the talent.
Yeah, but
a decent amount of talent.
I thought it was crazy though that no player has ever won Heisman, national championship, and a Super Bowl. Like, that's just never happened before, ever, which I kind of thought was surprising. Like, usually the first two go hand in hand, like the Heisman and winning the national championship in college football. Like, I know several players that win the Heisman and then are on the team that then wins the Super Bowl, that wins the NCAA national championship. But the fact that no player in the history,
I know that is crazy.
Like, was that not surprising to you?
Yeah, that is crazy. Actually, they did a big segment on it at the start because I forget who it was something else to do with Joe Montana as well. I don't know what it was. That wasn't to do with the Heisman.
Well, wait, what was it to do about Joe?
I'm just sort of talking shit at the moment, so we'll just leave that alone. No, it is surprising because think about it, like and how long has the Heisman been going on? 50 years more? I don't know.
More than 50. Well, no, I think it's definitely been going since like I want to say the 40s or the 50s.
And think about it, the Heisman may not be the best NFL ready player, but it's considered the most. It's the person who had the best year, essentially, right?
It's not the best player, right? And it's the person who has the best season.
And then what's crazy about that is like you said, the Heisman goes hand in hand with probably the national championship.
Not always,
not necessarily, but
more
maybe
often
like
than not,
25% of the time, right?
Yeah.
So
I mean, if it's an Alabama player, yes, usually it's an Alabama running back.
Let's say in the last 50 years, just for round figures, if a quarter of them win the Heisman and the championship, which is maybe a little high, but let's say a tenth of them do. That's 10 players that have been in the NFL.
Yeah.
And then you also get 10 seasons of each one because...
Give or take.
Yeah. That's 100 shots at it, which is crazy.
Well, I think the one thing that has to be said for that is that, like, before the last, like, I want to, like, 25 to 30 years ago and before that, there was a lot more parity in the NCAA. Like, it's not over the last, I mean, especially the last 10, 15, 20 years, you can pick probably 4 or 5 teams at the beginning of the season and say one of these teams will definitely win the national championship.
You can pick one every year.
Exactly. Alabama and then some
honestly,
some
Georgia
SEC
and Clemson
team,
are always there or thereabouts.
Georgia, Clemson, and I mean for a long time Florida State,
FSU were good for
Auburn's kind of been in that. Miami as well. Miami for a long time has been in that conversation, but in like the 80s and the 70s, like if you look back into those years, it's one team one year and then a totally different team the next year and then it's like there was a lot more competition back then, whereas now beginning of the NCAA season you're like, oh, Alabama's going to be there.
I wonder who the last team to win the championship who weren't from the SEC was. That's a good trivia question.
Florida State won it in 2013. Ohio State won it. Ohio State
would have been the one I would have gone for, but
would have won it not that long ago with Urban Meyer.
What division is the?
Big Ten.
No, I know that, but FSU.
ACC.
Ah, interesting. I always thought they were SEC.
Yeah. Oh, Florida State. Florida
I thought
Florida is SEC.
I thought both of them were.
Miami and Florida State are both ACC, and there was a long time when Miami and Florida State were, in my mind, equivalent to the nowadays Alabama, where in the 90s, in the beginning, before the season started, you could be like Miami, Alabama, or Miami, Florida State. One of them is going to be in the national championship, and you know, something I was looking at the other day before the last podcast. We didn't quite get to it. 20 years ago this month or last month, do you remember who won the national championship?
No,
in my mind, arguably the greatest college team ever put together. And I'll get some notes here. I had a couple players based on those teams. The Miami Hurricanes. It was the 2001 season, but they won the national championship in 2002. They had so many stars on that team. It's absolutely insane. Let me see where my shit is. But yeah, I just had. Yeah, let me just go through these players that were playing for the Miami Dolphins in 01. It was the 01-02 season. They won the national championship in 02, 20 years ago. Quarterback Ken Dorsey, obviously good.
He's the Bills' offensive coordinator now.
Yeah, good, but never really performed in. Like he was a decent NFL player.
Who did he play for in the NFL?
I don't even remember.
Yeah,
I want to.
Arizona.
No, I don't remember, but he was just the quarterback. So he was the first one. Other players on that amazing team: Frank Gore,
Hall of Famer.
Andre Johnson.
Hall of Famer.
I think so. Yes, he played on the Texans for a historically bad part of their franchise.
And he was a top 3 to 5 wide receiver every year.
I'd say there was a couple of years when, in my mind, he was the best.
No, he played with Calvin Johnson.
I mean, well, that's Calvin Johnson, and then I think if he got drafted in 2001, he was around when Randy Moss was still really good. Randy Moss had that historic season in 2007 when he was on the Patriots. So 2001, 2002, he was still really, really good. Keyshawn Johnson was still in the league. Also Terrell Owens, but Andre Johnson I rate incredibly highly. He's one of those. He's an amazing wide receiver. Willis McGahee
Bills draft pick.
Never really. I mean, after that, one of the most
about 45 kids.
One of the most horrific. I mean, not as many as Phillip Rivers.
No.
Nobody can touch Phillip Rivers on having kids.
Well,
I think it's tied.
He looks after.
It's tied between. Well, I mean, we're not going to get into that, but. I think it's tied between Antonio Cromartie and
it's Antonio
Cromartie. How many kids does he has?
I think it's north of 13. Josh Jacobs has got a shitload as well.
I mean, I know Phillip Rivers. I think just had his 11th.
No, 6, right?
Rivers? Phillip Rivers.
Yeah,
he has more than 10 children. Rivers has more than 10 children. I'd be willing to put money on.
Wait, who's the one? Josh Jacobs has loads of kids as well. For a 21-year-old, he's got like 8 kids.
He's not 21. No way.
He's not any older than 24.
I was going to say about 25. I thought he hasn't been in the league longer than that. I thought Josh Jacobs has been in the league for 3 or 4 years.
No.
I mean, he's not that old, but I mean...
Still, anyway.
I mean, honestly, a guy could impregnate a girl every day of the week.
Yeah.
Like, that's not... I mean, if it was a woman having that many child, like, that's incredible. Like, every 9 months...
You'd always be pregnant.
Yeah, that's what I'm... Like, Phillip Rivers' wife must have been pregnant for the last 15 years.
Yeah.
The moment she has one, he puts another one in her. And it's just, it's a constant... Like, I don't, like... Your mental and physical health must be just absolutely destroyed. After that, 11. I think it's 11 is the number, but I'm going to continue with the list.
Apologies to the Rivers family.
I'm nothing against them. They just have a shitload of kids. It's a well-known joke in the NFL that Phillip Rivers does. The only thing he does better than being a quarterback in the NFL is conceiving children. He's really good at that. After Willis McGahee, Clinton Portis. I don't know if you remember him. Really, really good running back for... I know he played for the Redskins, played for a couple teams, bounced around a little bit, but he was a really good running back. Edward Reed, another one on that team. Like one of the best safeties of all time. Ontrell Roll, who's another really, really good defensive back. I think he was a safety that also played corner. He was one of those guys. Jeremy Shockey. Sean Taylor was also on that. So as far as defensive backs in their secondary,
that's crazy.
They had Ontrell Roll, Ed Reed, and Sean Taylor. Also had Santonio Holmes, another really, really good. I don't know if he's a Hall of Famer, but a really, really good wide receiver.
He had that huge catch. It was the Super Bowl winner, right?
It was the Super Bowl. The Steelers against the Arizona Cardinals. It was like 2010 to 2009.
It was 2009 because it was the year I was in the.
Yeah, I think the Super Bowl was 10, but it was the 2009 season.
No, it was the 2000. It was the 2009.
And the Super Bowl was in 2010.
No,
right?
No, it was the 2008 season, 2009 Super Bowl.
Okay, well, yeah,
but either way.
Jonathan Vilma, the guy, really, really good linebacker in the league. He was the one at the center of the whole Bounty Gate thing with Greg Williams for the Saints. He's the guy that eventually purportedly was paid off to hurt Brett Favre I think.
And Vernon Davis too.
Was that the NFC Championship game when the Vikings lost to? It was the
big one was in addition to Brett Favre, the big one was
the Saints won the Super Bowl.
When Vernon Davis was on the bottom of the pile and they were told to underneath the pile be injuring him. Do you know what I mean?
Like gouge his eyes out or something like that.
Paying him and being paid to injure Vernon Davis.
I heard about that.
Jonathan Vilma, Vince Wilfork, another amazing defensive incredible tackle.
He was actually really good.
He was always one of those guys that just didn't, like, obviously massive, gigantic human being, but just the gut on him. You remember that? Like, there's a lot of NFL players, a lot of offensive linemen, several, like Vita Vea's one of them.
Yeah.
Like, he's massive.
Vince Wilfork was
strong as an ox, but he's got a belly on him.
Vince Wilfork was rounder than he was tall.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't gigantic height wise. I think he was like 6'3".
He was like 6'3", and he was probably
320.
I was gonna say 330.
Yeah. North of 300. Anytime you're under 6'5" and north of 300 pounds, like it looks fun. I always just looked at Vince Wilfork. I was like, how does he run?
Yeah.
I was like, how does that man run?
He didn't. He just pushed people backwards.
But he was deadly for 3 to 5 yards. For 3 to 5 yards, you could not contain the man. He was amazing. Part of a lot of those Patriots Super Bowls. Kellen Winslow II, who do you guys remember what happened to him? I mean, I think it was something like sexual assault. His dad, Kellen Winslow Senior, was like a Hall of Fame tight end for the Chargers. He played for the Bucks. I think he was drafted by Cleveland or something like that, but then ended up playing for the Bucks. Was really good for us for several years. Was our like go-to tight end, but then ended up getting arrested for, I don't know if it was like child porn or like sex with a child or something like that, but just one of those other guys that just like gets arrested and you're just like, how do you fuck up?
Wait, the dad or the son?
The son. Now, not that the dad is like still, I mean, obviously it doesn't reflect well on him. No, he got fucked up with that. That team had 17 first round picks in that year. I don't.
Damn, that's half the first round.
Actually, no.
Or maybe it was 17 draft.
Well,
picks.
no, yeah. It wasn't 17 that year, but of the team that they had that year, 17 of those players were first round draft picks. Which it's like I don't.
That's nuts. That's a third. If it's for 3 drafts, that's 10 each.
Yeah, that's
5 each draft. Which is
I'm pretty sure it was just the one. It was that year and then the next year. I don't know if it was
even
for
more
over
crazy,
3.
It's like 8 and 8 or 10 and 7.
All in the first round. 38 drafted players, so just 38 of the 55 made
basically
it to the
whole,
NFL.
Yeah, almost. Yeah,
pretty much
over
the whole
half
team,
the team
made, which is like that's a lot for a college team.
Yeah.
Usually you'll have
maybe 10 of them.
I was gonna
max.
3 to 5 definitely getting into the NFL, and then
like 3 to 5 late round picks.
Or undrafted that kind of play a little bit. They get pulled in as an undrafted free agent and then kind of bounce around. But like good NFL players, like that's super.
Yeah.
And also another thing, that was when Miami was in the Big East.
Yeah.
They weren't even. That was another thing that I saw that I didn't remember about Miami. But they were in the Big East then. Now they're in the ACC. But yeah, I remember seeing that last week when I was doing notes for the podcast. I was like, fuck, that team was so good. It was just an amazing team.
And it's the form has been franked for to use a gambling term, like they've all, once they've come into the NFL, there's very few of them that didn't pan out at least to be better than solid starters, and some of them have been complete superstars.
All the ones that I named were good.
That's what I mean.
All the ones that I named,
like
there was other guys that I didn't put in here that I knew, but I knew they'd gotten to the NFL but weren't amazing.
No, that's what I'm saying. All the ones you named have at least had good careers, like the other, and then the others have been.
Would you say Frank Gore is a Hall of Famer?
He's 100%.
Ed Reed is first ballot,
and so is Frank Gore.
Frank
Just
Gore,
for yardage, man.
I think Vince Wilfork, easy Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he will be.
Jeremy Shockey, one of the few white dudes on that team,
not for me.
representing
I don't think he'll get in
for the white guys. But you don't think? I mean, he was one of those guys that was good. He had a lot of off the field problems. He was kind of a crazy. Yeah, I mean that's just another one I was bringing up. But on that note, something I saw today. Matthew Stafford, Hall of Fame or not?
That's a good question.
You know?
I'm going to say yeah. Not first ballot, but maybe like 7-8 years down the line.
Based on what? Like what?
Based on the fact that the Rams have had this talent for 5 years and it took Matt Stafford to win them the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And he's got numbers with it too.
Made it to the thing is he has numbers as far as stats, and I know he was in Detroit, so obviously being in Detroit, that's just like a graveyard for decent players that just go there and nothing happens.
Graveyard for success, yeah.
But I honestly, I think it was Richard Sherman who had said this. It was either on Twitter or something like that. But he's like, he's never won an MVP. I think he's made it to the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, it's very fringe. And if they lost on Sunday, then it's not even in the conversation.
Yeah, he's only been an All-Pro once, if I remember the statistics
with
correctly.
Those stats, honestly, with those stats, I'd say no. And it's saying he didn't even get Super Bowl MVP as a quarterback.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
I think deserved for Cooper Kupp though. I
think so too.
Cooper Kupp absolutely has earned it.
People were saying Aaron Donald, but For the first,
I
saw
would've taken
for the first 20 snaps of the game, he had 17 rushes and 1 quarterback hurry. Mm-hmm. So that's almost the first half. That's the first half of doing nothing.
He did get the sack to end the game, which a lot of times NFL MVP or the Super Bowl MVPs,
it's the big play.
You have 1, 2, or 3 huge plays, huge momentum shift plays where it's like a pick six.
I mean, if Odell Beckham didn't get injured, he could have been on course for it.
He was in the conversation.
But he also only played a half.
Yeah, I hate to be this way and say that I'm glad he got injured.
I mean, we can't.
On that note, like I said,
sure
me just being a terrible person.
I don't love Odell Beckham, but he's not. I wouldn't want to see him get injured.
Yeah, well,
you want to see the best players on the field.
Yeah, I don't think he's that good. We're going to take a little break, guys. Remy's got to smoke a cigarette. Don't go anywhere. Stay right where you're at. Make sure you're watching and listening live on YouTube.
Film and TV after
We're going to do a little overrated, underrated bit when we get back. You guys don't go anywhere. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the Is This Football podcast. Thank you for staying with us there through Remy's cigarette break. We had to let him get his fix.
I gotta get my fix.
He was jonesing for it. I seen him.
I can see he's already ready for his next one.
Shaking over there.
He's already ready for his next one.
White knuckling it, but.
Can we just pause the show so I can go out for it?
We're gonna
just smoke in here, Remy.
We're gonna go into some overrated, underrated, aren't we?
Yeah, we decided to do a little segment, something slightly non-sport. I mean, not sports related at all. But we're gonna do Eddie's gonna pull up some movies. Here's some of the better Rotten Tomato movies,
how they're rated. They're the highest rated.
Yeah, So the most high rate, which also
I
think it has to be said that the Rotten Tomatoes ratings aren't always
subjective.
I don't usually it's a pretty good, because isn't the Rotten Tomatoes ratings just based on
I think it's a mix
watchers.
I think it's a mix. I think they have 2 different scores. One is regular people watchers, and
how do they do the actual Rotten Tomatoes? Do you know how they do that? Like what the criteria is?
I think you probably have to be in the film industry, either like a writer or like a director. You
don't think it's just like some guy that works for Rotten Tomatoes that like makes the website that's just like, I think this is a 82.
No, well, yeah, they might be one as well.
They
might be one. No, I think it's like a collection of scores from either a mix of the general public and then the other score is like now
that you say that, I do remember like you'll see the certain score and then under that it'll be like the critics
and
score.
There'll be sometimes like a pretty huge difference between
like what Rotten Tomatoes rates them and what the viewers actually rated the shows. No.
And sometimes people like
let me at them.
All right, let's just do it.
I feel like I could rate movies better than Rotten Tomatoes.
Right. This one, the first one, I actually haven't seen. So let's see.
Skip it. I thought we're only doing ones that we've seen.
Well, let's just. Have you guys seen Knives Out?
Yeah. I have. It's good.
Is it overrated?
What's the rating?
There's no. It's just like
these are all hundreds. You said these are the highest.
They're
rated
not necessarily. No. Here.
I mean, if they're highest rated, they all have to be hundreds. I know there's a couple hundreds on Rotten Tomatoes. There's a couple perfect scores.
It doesn't say whether they're highest rated on Rotten Tomatoes. It just says.
I thought that's what you just said.
No, that's what I thought. It just says they're considered some of the best films of all time.
Ooh, all time. I don't.
Just say whether you think it's overrated or underrated compared to the general public and what they think, the consensus of what you feel from other people saying. And what is Knives Out even about?
I've never heard of it.
Knives Out is a movie. There is an older gentleman.
It's the same guy as
Chris Evans. There's a bunch of really good actors there. Daniel Craig is the detective. Chris Evans is one of the sons. Jamie Lee Curtis. The premise of the movie is there's an older gentleman who he's an author. He has this empire of. He's one of those guys that makes like a bunch of books that all kind of go, like, what's that called when they have a bunch of books that all kind of go together? The story continues.
Chronology.
Yeah, chronological books, and he's made lots of money. There's a vast fortune. He dies, and then all of his bunches of children and his wife, and
Come
they all
to get the will.
They all come to hear the will reading and to all kind of vie for his stuff. They all want they don't like each other. They all want all his money for himself.
Well, is it overrated or underrated?
As far as one of the best movies of all time, I would say that is overrated. Okay. I mean, it's a good movie. You definitely should watch it. It's a quality film.
You ever seen Greedy with Michael J. Fox? Same movie. It was back in the early 90s, but it was a comedy version.
I mean, I feel like that
the grandfather dies and everybody shows up.
I misstated he was murdered. That was the thing. He was murdered.
Oh. So, do you know what as well? On the poster for it, it's like a similar style to the game Clue.
Yeah, no, that
they're all wearing.
Like I said, it's somebody. The patriarch of the family dies, and under suspicious circumstances, and they're like, "Oh, who killed him?
Is it Colonel Mustard, Mr. Green?"
Yeah, is it one of his children that killed him, trying to get the money? Is it his wife that killed him, trying to get the money?
It's quite interesting that they've done it like that. I quite like that.
Yeah, honestly, it's a good movie, quality film, good watch, a lot of good actors and actresses, a lot of good performances, but I think saying that it's one of the best movies of all time
is overrating it.
Is a little much. If I had to guess their Rotten Tomatoes score, can you not see the score on there? Because let me guess it before you say it.
Let me see if I can.
Yeah, see if you can. Because I would say
it doesn't say it. I can just look it up though.
An appropriate score for that movie, I would say, is about 85.
Okay, let me.
Not perfect, not amazing, good. It's a good watch. Well done, well written. Well produced, but I don't know if I would give it best all time. Like, that just seems like, I feel like people do that a lot with movies and TV shows.
I feel like I would have watched it if people were saying it was the best of all time.
I mean, it wasn't really marketed like that. I would say 85 for the Rotten Tomatoes.
It got 97 by critics and 92 by the general public.
Okay, yeah, I tend to agree more with the 92. I mean, I feel like over 90 on Rotten Tomatoes, that's good.
Yeah.
Like, if you get over 90, I mean, 80, honestly, 70 is good. Like, if a movie comes out and it gets 70, that's good. But yeah, go to the next one.
Parasite.
Oh, the South Korean one.
I think it's rated appropriately.
Have both of you seen that?
I love it.
You love it? Have you not seen that, Remy?
It's really good.
I like it a lot.
Watching. I'm a big fan.
I'm a big fan too. I'm one of those people. I do honestly really enjoy foreign movies, especially
foreign as well.
Over the last couple of years.
I do subtitles.
I love subtitles.
Yeah.
Subtitles. I prefer subtitles.
I don't know if I'd say I love subtitles, but if I'm watching a show, like when I was watching that Dark show, I prefer to watch it with the subtitles.
No, I think all three of us. I think all three of us are the same in that. We like our subtitles.
I just feel like when it's dubbed over, you don't get quite the feeling or the
exactly
100%. When it's an actor acting and they're talking and doing stuff, but there's no sound and it's sound put over that. It's like you're not.
Yeah, it's not right. It's not. I know what you mean.
I'd rather just hear them talking in the other language and then see what it's saying, so you really get like the emotion and what they're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I saw Parasite, loved it. Remy,
excellent.
You said you haven't seen it, Remy?
I have not.
You need to watch it. It's so good.
It's a movie about this. It's a low class family in South Korea. Obviously South Korea. It's definitely not North Korea.
Yeah.
Low class family, and I believe the father begins to be the driver.
Yep, that's exactly right.
And then the basically the whole family slowly
works for the
starts
wealthy
working for the wealthy family. The wife then becomes the maid. One of the sons,
the daughter tutors one of them, and then the son does something else. The daughter tutors one, the daughter. Yeah,
they get all of them in there, and they all get them in there. Under the pretense of them not being family. Like the guy's like, oh, this isn't my wife.
But they don't
some
plan
woman
on like anything bad happening. It's all accidental. Like when they spend the night there, they're not planning on.
I think the whole point of the movie is that
they're not planning on robbing them.
The whole time they were kind of like, oh, this is like our chance to get in here and
but it's not. They're not planning on
like
robbing them. I don't think. Are they? Do you think? I don't get that.
I mean, I always thought that was the plan all along, was for him to get the job. He gets his whole family in there, and then they slowly but surely, based on the name,
Parasite. I get that.
Slowly suck the life and the money out of those people, and then a great movie though.
It's outstanding.
I think it was lovely.
I'll have to check that out.
It's honestly a really good movie. If I had to, based on the last score, if I had to guess, I would say that one probably got 99 to 100 because that was like a very I remember.
Well, it won the best Oscar, right?
It
won best picture.
Did it? I know it definitely won several Oscars, at least one or two.
It won best picture.
The guy that directed it's like Jungkook or something like that. I mean, I probably should just. I believe that's somewhere close to the name, but he did another.
It got 98 by the
98,
critics and 90 by the.
Oh, 90
by the
90
general
by the general public. See, that's weird because Knives Out was 97, 92, right? Yeah.
All right. The next film we're doing is Get Out. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
Would
good
we
movie.
Consider it a horror?
Psychological thriller.
Psychological thriller.
Well,
yeah.
Actually, more sci-fi, kind of sci-fi.
I
don't know if it's not sci-fi.
I mean, there is a sci-fi aspect to it.
What, like the hypnotism?
Well, no, just the way that they're trying to they're trying to use the guy's body to put another person into the body. You know
me,
what I'm saying? They're trying to.
Well, I mean, this is a big spoiler.
Spoiler alert. We're talking
spoilers,
about the movies and all the good parts. So I hope you don't want to watch Get Out.
I would say Get Out had the similarities of this modern world, critique along with some sort of science fiction plot, a la. Twilight Zone, things like that used to do shit like this where there was this big twist ending that you didn't really know was going on, and then it happened. And
it wasn't it wasn't sci-fi till about the last 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like the whole time,
but that was the explanation.
I would say a horror movie because like the way it's filmed, I am so surprised. And then there's this new movie coming out by Jordan Peele. I was so surprised how good Jordan Peele is at making movies.
Well, Us was amazing.
Well, no, he was in Key and Peele.
Oh, really?
He's
the shorter.
He's the shorter, chubby one from Key and Peele, and he wrote and directed that movie. He wrote and directed Antebellum. There's another movie that I haven't seen. I think it's just called You, Remy. Can you know what I'm
Us?
Us. That I think that's what it is. And then
I think Us was maybe even. Oh, I don't know. Maybe more entertaining to watch than.
I haven't seen that one.
That's a horror.
One that that's one that I really want to see. But there's another one coming out.
Us was more horror than the previous.
Do you know what the new one is coming out? There's a new Jordan Peele movie.
Well, I think the podcast isn't the best time to sit around and try to figure it out.
Let's do overrated, underrated, or rated appropriately. Remy, you start.
Go ahead, Remy.
Get Out.
Yeah.
You mean like movies that are overrated?
No. Just Get Out. Was it overrated, underrated, or was it rated appropriately?
You say appropriately rated.
It was probably underrated. I didn't hear a whole. I don't know a whole lot of people that know about that movie.
Really? I feel like it was quite big.
I feel like it was very well received, and a lot of people really liked it. Like when it came, that was kind of his like. I feel like that was his first.
Okay,
maybe
more
his first movie,
people have not known about it than I would like to.
Yeah.
And that upsets me. So I feel like it's a little underrated in that fashion. But otherwise, completely well rated and not overrated, certainly.
Yeah. See, these are all hard ones because they're all rated well, but they're also really good movies. I would say, honestly, a little overrated.
I think I'm slightly overrated.
I would say it's slightly overrated. It's a really good movie. I don't know if I would have it as even in the 90 range for Rotten Tomatoes. I'd have it as like an 80 something, 83, 85,
maybe
something like that. That's where I would. It's good. It's entertaining. It's well done. Like I said, I love Jordan Peele and all the stuff he's been doing since Key and Peele, which was hilarious.
And Marnie from Girls is super hot. And she's
she's super
98
hot.
Critics.
Yeah, see, 98 overrated.
General
I think 98. I think 98 is an overrating.
That's a little high.
I'd give it like an 80.
Yeah, I'd say like 85.
I was thinking 83
it's well
to
written.
85.
It's well written.
Very good movie.
It's a good idea as well. I'm just not sure.
Yeah, very good idea. Very unique. That's another thing about his movies. They're very unique. It's shit that hasn't been done.
He doesn't just do this shit out. He's not shitting out the same stuff over and over or doing reboots of shit from 20 years ago.
All very interesting
continuations.
Ideas, but yeah. So what's the next movie? What are we doing?
Star Wars franchise.
See, this is very near and dear to my heart. The franchise in itself, I believe, is overrated.
Yeah, me too.
I love the originals. I know, Remy, you have a lot to say about this. I know you're a big fan. The originals, loved them.
Not a huge fan.
4, 5. Right. I mean, you're a fan. 4, 5, and 6.
Yeah, I grew.
A New Hope, Empire. I will say to the day I died, The Empire Strikes Back. I would say that is one of the greatest movies of all time. The Empire Strikes Back was an absolutely phenomenal film. Luke, I'm Your Father is one of the most...
What happens in that one again? It's where Darth Vader...
It's the first time you see a lightsaber duel.
Yeah, hand cut off.
It's the first time that you see Yoda. It's the introduction of Yoda. It's an introduction into Luke Skywalker being taught by Yoda. It's the first lightsaber battle. It's Lando Calrissian and the city in the clouds. Luke Skywalker...
Billie Jean King? No, what was his name?
No. Billy D. Williams.
Billy D. Williams.
Billy D. No. Billie Jean King was a little...
Boxer?
What? It's a female tennis... Are you doing a bit right now, or do you really not know who Billie Jean King is? Are you fucking with me? Billie Jean King is
Billy D. Williams. I apologize.
Billy D. Williams, black actor, Billie Jean King, white female tennis player.
But the thing about
just to be clear.
Think about Star Wars, okay? Here, when I was little, I watched it sober, and it was like fun, and it was cool.
Yeah.
Now, when you're drinking a little bit, and you're like, this shit is so fucking slow, dude. Like some of it's just so slow.
Well, I just feel like they really ruined it with the new ones. Like the new ones, the one movie that everybody shits on that I thought wasn't bad was the Solo movie, like the Han Solo standalone.
Never
film.
seen. I only saw 1 through 6.
Not bad. That I remember that one came out and everyone was pumped for it because it was like it's the story of Han Solo and the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs.
I liked episode 1 with young Anakin, and we had the pod racers.
Yes,
and
Darth
Jar
Maul.
Jar.
I love that one. That's
Darth
my favorite.
Maul.
That's my favorite one.
With the double-sided lightsaber.
The introduction of
That's my
Liam
favorite one.
Neeson and Ewan McGregor.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite Star Wars.
Star Wars.
I'll watch anything with Liam Neeson.
All right.
That one was amazing.
I don't like Liam Neeson.
Overall,
2
as
and
a franchise,
3 were just fucking
Remy,
boring.
3, 2, 1, overrated, underrated franchise.
It's God.
Come on, Rem. You know what you know.
It's overrated.
In your heart what's right.
Any franchise is
and
overrated.
we haven't seen they're just like I think the Mandalorian's good. The Book of Boba.
All franchises are overrated collectively.
3, 2, 1.
Overrated. I said at the beginning.
And I'm overrated.
Yeah, overrated. Obviously, there's a
next one I like a lot. What A Star Is Born? Did you guys see that?
I never seen
I did
that.
not.
Never saw it.
I'll just tell you guys that is a really, really, really good film, and everyone rates it really highly, and it's appropriately rated. It is so good.
The combination of Lady Gaga and country music, I was just like,
no, she's excellent in it, and so is what's your name?
Bradley
Cooper. It's just brilliant.
Ever since Wedding Crashers, I love Bradley Cooper.
It's just
it's the sack.
The sack.
I didn't see that movie. You're the sack, baby. She'll come to you.
This one is amazing.
I haven't watched that movie. Yeah. My little brother said the Bradley Cooper character kind of reminds me of you. Like, he's just always missing the mark. He's an alcoholic. Yeah. He's this, he's that. And I was just like...
I can see that.
I was like, wait, I don't think I want to see this movie.
It's really excellent.
Would you say overrated or underrated? It's clearly rated very highly.
I think it's rated appropriately, like maybe even a little bit underrated.
Well, all these movies we're talking about, it's very difficult for any of these movies to be underrated.
Well, I guess we're doing either overrated or rated appropriately.
How we feel about them. So go to the next one since we don't...
Did you guys watch Moonlight? It was the award winner.
Yeah. Good movie. I liked it.
Decent, overrated. For me.
I would.
I just feel like the story's just. What's the story? I understand the story is him coming to terms with his sexuality.
A young black man coming to terms with his sexuality, living in I think it's Miami.
It's Miami, I believe.
And just like his struggles with his mother being a crack addict, and his relationship
and it's about
with
it's about the I think, African American community and homosexuality. A lot of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But Mahershala Ali, the guy that's like the little bit older. That
the father figure who isn't his dad.
The father figure, he is an amazing actor. Anything I've ever seen him in, I love it. He's one of the best. I don't even like black actors aside. He's just an amazing actor.
He's an excellent.
People are like, oh yeah, he's a great black actor. It's like he's just a phenomenal.
Well, yeah, you shouldn't have to put a label on it.
I know. Yeah, people
are good actor or a bad actor.
Every time I hear people talk, they're like, oh yeah, he's one of the better black actors in going on in the film industry. I'm like, he's definitely one of the best black actors. He's one of the best everything actors. He's just really.
It's a good film. I think it's overrated. Just because of the fact that like
I would say overrated.
I just think it's a bit of a slow burn.
Well, it's similar for me to the Get Out thing. Like, I don't know if I would have it in the 90s on Rotten Tomatoes, but I'd say an 80, between 80, between 75 and low 80s. I would say that's probably good. We got time for one more. Let's shoot one off.
One more.
Really,
this
really
is
quick.
An interesting one as well. I hope you guys have seen this. A Quiet Place with John Krasinski.
Oh fuck yeah! Oh fuck yeah!
I think it's hugely overrated.
I've seen it. It's good. I would say overrated.
I'd give it a 50.
I'd say better than that. I don't know if I'd give it much more than a 60, 65.
Yeah,
it's a good movie.
Hugely overrated.
There was a sequel that came out in the last year, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
correct.
Did you? I never saw the sequel. Did you see it, Remy?
I saw it. I saw. Oh God, I was waiting with bated breath.
Really?
I loved the first one.
Oh, really? So you'd say it's appropriately rated?
Huge Office fan. Love John Krasinski.
Oh, I love John Krasinski. I love John Krasinski.
But the fact him and his
America's
sweetheart,
his wife,
Emily Blunt. Yeah. The fact that the two of them basically kind of wrote the movie together, they did it like as a couple project. I mean, just super awesome in that respect. As your producer, just that aspect of it. And then honestly, I was fucking like glued,
jerking off.
Both movies, I was glued to that screen, man. I was waiting for every.
I'd like to see the second one. Just
every
to get the
breath,
full effect of it.
everything. I was just like fucking there, and I can't tell you the last time a movie did that to me. You know what I mean? Where I was just stuck.
Yeah.
I don't think it's that good.
Last movie I saw that like rocked me was Training Day. Like, I've seen a lot of good movies, but like I don't know how you guys feel about that movie.
It's
but
been a long time for you.
No. Well, no. Like I said, I mean, like as far
we need to rock you, Benson.
As far like I've seen a lot of good movies and I've loved a lot of them, but as far as like a movie where after the movie you feel like a different person.
Oh really?
Like it's like I feel like it was a life experience.
That was American Psycho for me.
Well, no,
American Psycho was crazy.
I didn't see Training Day when it first, because Training Day came out in like 99, 98, something like that. It was like late 90s, and I didn't see it until probably 2004 or 5. I was at like a friend's house or something. They're like, "Oh, we're watching Training Day." I was like, "Oh, I've never seen it." But, oh, you got to watch it. But
that movie, was insane. Yeah.
It was really, really good. Obviously, Denzel Washington won the Academy Award.
We're gonna have
a problem.
Yeah, that's the most iconic part.
You like to get wet, huh? I was like, what? He's like, yeah, he's smoking. Was it
PCP?
He's smoking PCP. Yeah, you like to get butt naked, huh? Butt naked, extra wet. Yeah.
All right. We will continue this after the break. I think we've got a few more.
We're going to take a little break. We'll get into a little bit more movies, overrated, underrated when we come back. We're also going to talk a little bit more about sports.
Well, yeah, I should hope so.
We are going to have a little bit more sports stuff. Like I said, this isn't just a sports podcast. This is an everything podcast.
Especially because we're going into a slow time.
The NFL just ended, so we're going to discuss that a little bit more. Maybe a little Aaron Rodgers talk that I've been trying to talk about for the last 3
let's hear
weeks.
That. I'm excited for that.
He's staying in Green Bay.
I don't think that's going to happen. There's no way. But like I said, once again, Remy's over here sweating his ass off. He needs a cigarette. You guys don't go anywhere. Stay right where we're at. We'll be back shortly.
All right.
Bye, guys.
What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the Is This Football podcast.
Back with some highly acclaimed films.
Yeah, we were just doing a little segment on we were throwing out different films that are highly rated on YouTube, supposedly some of the better ones of all time, and giving them an overrated, underrated score.
I'm enjoying myself so far.
I know. We decided to throw in a little something that Remy can also vibe with. I know he's not a huge sports guy, but we figured we'd throw in a little something that more people can interact with. A lot of people have probably heard of or seen the movies we're talking about.
This next one, I'm a big fan of. Did you guys watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
I never saw that. I really want to.
Oh, we'll skip this one, but it's really good. And it's gotten quite a lot of flack, actually.
I was thinking about this before.
Brad Pitt?
Yeah, Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio,
Margot
Robbie.
Yeah.
I remember seeing a
Margot
lot about
Robbie.
it. Yeah.
Oh,
God, so hot.
Yeah, honestly.
So and that Australian accent. I tell you what.
I'm not a fan of the Australian accent.
Oh my God, it's so hot.
I'm not a fan of it.
It's like she's super hot when you look at her, and then she starts talking. I'm just like, oh Jesus.
I know, so it's like so good, you know?
Yeah, it's so good.
Horrible
like
accent.
every
Horrible
time.
So
accent.
good there.
Yeah.
All right, the next one
Super
we're going
sexy.
for is...
Just while Eddie takes a minute or two getting this up, I was thinking about this before because we didn't really specify what we were doing, but I was thinking overrated, underrated.
Oh, it's a good one.
think Quentin Tarantino as a director is wildly overrated.
No, he's not.
Wildly
I knew
overrated.
that's where that was going, and I
He's not.
disagree.
He's wildly
Think about all the other
disagree as
directors.
well.
He's got. Well, no, I mean I'm not talking in relation to
I think
other.
he's
I'm
not
not
overrated.
talking
He's not overrated.
in relation to other directors. I'm just talking about him himself. People think the man is just. He has made more than a couple terrible movies.
Like,
I'm
not disagreeing, but
I don't think the Kill Bill movies were that good.
Oh
at
yeah,
all.
that's a good point.
Think
Yeah, Kill Bill's not very good.
think about the amount of directors there are out there. Okay?
Yeah.
Think about this. Think about the amount of directors there are out there. Think about your Wes Anderson.
What does this have to do with
your Adam McKay's?
Yeah.
Your
How do
Judd
they,
Apatow's?
How do they affect what I'm talking
Apatow,
about?
however you want to fucking say
Judd
it.
Apatow, great director.
Dude, Quentin Tarantino, come on, man.
He's really good.
Revolutionary.
I'm a
Yeah.
big fan.
Huge fan.
He's very good. I don't know. You know, one of the reasons why I think that I'm not super big on him is because I remember the first two movies or the first three movies by him that I
Pulp Fiction.
Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, and Jackie Brown. Three incredible movies. I'm not saying that he's bad. He's a good
So
actor.
you're saying you don't love Django and Inglourious Bastards?
Inglourious Basterds is so
I
good.
think
Django as well.
I think both of those movies are overrated.
Wow.
Oh, they're amazing.
They're both okay. I don't think they're amazing. I think they're both I would say they're right around
entertaining.
They're both around the 60 to maybe 65 level on Rotten Tomatoes. That's what I would give them. I just don't
What
see
did they
them.
get then?
I'm not
Those two,
positive.
they would
didn't
have
have
gotten
that, yeah.
like 80 to at least 80, maybe 90.
There's no way that they didn't get a shitload, but
Next one is, have you guys seen Argo?
just had to throw that in.
Have you guys seen Argo?
I have not seen Argo.
That's the Ben Affleck?
Really?
Yeah, that's the Ben Affleck one. Go to the next one.
Argo's really good. The next one is The Irishman. You guys
Haven't
that?
seen that one either.
Overrated.
Liam
really
Neeson?
overrated.
No, it's Robert De
it's
Niro and Pesci.
and Tommy Pesci. Al Pacino's in it as well.
It's not Tommy Pesci. It's
It's Tommy Pesci.
Joe Pesci.
It's Joe Pesci. It's Tommy from.
Tommy from.
It's Tommy Pesci
Tommy
now.
from.
It's Tommy Pesci.
You're
now.
making it Tommy.
It's Tommy Pesci now.
Tommy.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is what we
It's
call
Joe
a live...
Pesci,
It
Tommy
works.
in Goodfellas.
That's what we
It
call a
works. It's
live
Tommy
bit.
Pesci.
A live bit.
Yeah.
That's what we
That's
call that.
the
Go,
end.
go
of,
to the next.
That's
one.
the end of the list in regards to.
Hey, real quick, guys,
The
while
ones
we're
that
here,
I've
can I
seen.
please just shout out? Make sure you're
Tommy
going to
Pesci.
youtube.com/Tiger Cage Media so that you can subscribe to the page. And every time we come on live, you're going to get it 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every Tuesday night.
Every Tuesday,
And then,
guys.
of course,
We're not
every
going anywhere.
Wednesday you can get your show wherever you get your podcast drips. So make sure you rewatch the YouTube show. Tell all your friends. Subscribe. Facebook.com/isthisfootball. And, yeah.
Rivers.
Thank you guys once again for listening, and please listen to Remy intently. He knows what he's talking about. Go ahead and like and subscribe.
So we've done. What were some of the overrated, underrated films you were thinking? Like, off the top of your head?
Well, just the first one that comes to my mind that I saw, and once again, like a lot of these movies aren't bad. Like it's a solid movie, but I think Avatar is one of the most overrated movies of all time.
Absolutely 100%.
Like,
overrated.
oh my god,
Overrated.
and I don't know if it's since been surpassed. Thank you, Remy. But for like
maybe the Viking
almost
scream
did
for
it.
that?
like,
I think so.
For like 10 years.
Run it.
No, it was like I think it's still to this day the highest grossing film of all time. Am I crazy?
For box office sales.
Yeah, the box office,
James Cameron?
which is James Cameron. It doesn't.
Wait, didn't Once Upon a Time in Hollywood surpass it?
Well, that's what I'm saying. I think in the last 2 or 3 years, it might have been.
Or maybe
surpassed.
Spider-Man, the metaverse.
No, the new one. I think the new one
metaverse,
might be
right?
doing
Or
it. No,
is it
it's
called
what is it called? Remy, didn't you see it?
Yeah,
You
I
went
did.
to
It's
see-
called
yeah.
Spider. No Way Home
something to do
or
with
Homecoming.
home.
Or,
It's not Homecoming.
It's like No Way Home. It's No Way Home.
It's something like
Yeah.
that. It's something
Spider-Man
to do with
No Way Home.
Yeah. But I think that one is getting close. But
I think it was already
since it came out in it was like 2008 or 2009. It came out and it was I saw it solid, but everyone was like, "Oh my god, Avatar!" And we're still waiting on a sequel. Like there's supposed to be a sequel at some point.
Just pack it in.
Do you have something to say, Remy?
Spare me.
Yeah,
Spare
same.
me.
That's what I'm saying. We don't need
I'll
it.
probably go see it. I'm not gonna lie.
I was somebody I was dating. They were like, "Dude, you've never seen Avatar, dude. You have to watch Avatar."
Yeah.
Oh my god. I was like, "All right." And I put it off for like 2 months, and I watched, and I was just like, "No. Like I don't care about any of
I'm
this."
not a fan at all.
Okay. I don't know if I've told. I must have, as long as I've known both of you, made this analogy before. But I think it's so perfect, and if you really, really think about it, it makes perfect sense. Avatar, the concept behind it, it's Pocahontas and Fern Gully made into one movie.
I've heard this before.
If you really think
and
about,
I love Fern Gully. I love Fern Gully.
think about those two movies. Think about the plots and what the characters and what happens in both of those movies. And if you think about that in comparison to Avatar, it's literally the same.
Okay, well,
it's like they made those two movies into a movie, and then they're like, okay, we're gonna this is what we're gonna do.
If Avatar would have had a giant cassette player with huge headphones, and he would have stepped on the play button, and they would have all danced around and did a little dance number like they did in Fern Gully, I would have been way more excited about that movie.
If they had an iguana that sounded like
oh God!
what was his name?
God! Yeah,
hey, babe, I'm gonna eat you up.
Funky Comedy.
Yeah, Funky Comedy.
Who was it? Oh
I
God!
can't think about it. But
Tone Loc.
Yeah, Tone Loc. Yeah, Tone Loc.
Tone Loc played the lizard. Yeah.
But just think about the plots of both of those movies. Where it's like, it's like a woman that's very nature oriented and about the earth and everything like that, and then this like brash American or whatever
Zach Morris type.
Yeah, this like like in both the movies, it's like this white blonde dude that comes in that's like pretty badass and he's cool as fuck, and then like she slowly teaches him about like
it's a movie for kids about saving the planet.
And then like the guys eventually come around and they're
Robin Williams played Batley.
What?
Robin Williams played the Bat. Remember? Batley.
Oh yeah. I don't know if it was Batley. It was,
Batley.
No. It might have been Batty. I think
it was Batley.
I think Batty is more. It was something like that though. But it's the exact same thing. They turn the white guy against their own people, and there's some type of higher power like spirituality going on. It's nature versus humans, and like it's if you think about it, it's literally both of those movies combined. But not to get on a tangent like I already have. There's no point even saying that. But Avatar, highly overrated. Can either one of you think about any other ones that jump out immediately as
overrated?
Being severely underrated? I feel like I should have a bunch of underrated ones.
Underrated ones. I can never think of like really good indie films that I've watched.
I could think of one.
You could go underrated all day long.
Any film.
But there's just so many. But like a one good one, it didn't. I mean, I know it did well as far as like the people that watched it liked it. Not a whole lot of people watched it. But have you ever heard of the movie Ex Machina? or Ex Machina, however you say it.
No, never.
It's about this Oscar Isaac, one of my favorite actors, amazing actor. He's this like billionaire that like created a company similar to like Google or something like that, and he lives out in the woods. This guy's a programmer that works for his company. He wins a contest to go spend a week or a month out in in this crazy huge mansion facility that's out in like the middle of nowhere. He goes there, and the guy that owns the place, the really rich billionaire, is like, "Oh, I have this like machine. I'm building an android that is supposed to be just like a woman." And like he's building one of those.
I think I've heard of the.
It's like it gets nuts. It's fucking really good. Right. And anybody that I've ever talked to that
Ex Machina.
It's EX dash MACHINA, so Ex Machina, Ex Machina, but really, really fucking good.
Hey, as the producer, can I tie this segment up in a special way?
Yeah.
I'm going to name 3 movies, 3 sports movies, and you guys are all 3 of us are going to go rapid fire. Overrated, currently rated, like rated or underrated.
Do like 1, 2, 3, and then overrated, underrated.
That's a good idea.
Okay, all right. First one, Mighty Ducks. 1, 2, 3.
Underrated.
Oh,
you said underrated?
I said underrated.
Okay, me too.
I haven't seen it.
He hasn't seen it, so we're both on the same page.
Okay.
Amazing. Right. Emilio Estevez is a gem, but continue.
All right. 1, Major League. 1, 2, 3.
Underrated.
I haven't seen it.
Underrated.
I haven't seen it.
Oh God, yeah. You're naming all these like late, like kind of older sport. But go ahead with your next. You said you had one more. You had 3, right?
I got one more.
Go with number 3. It might just be me and you, Remy.
Remember the Titans. 1, 2, 3.
Overrated.
Well, rated appropriately. I think it's rated pretty high.
Did you have me on overrated? Did you have me on overrated?
Me and you, Remy, are literally like one person in this segment. You picked all movies that me and you agreed on.
I wasn't sure
I really
what you would say about any of
that.
that.
I like Remember the Titans a lot.
For all of the overrated movies we've had, the bottom line is they're all good movies.
Yeah,
like,
no,
they're
that's
all
true.
solid
They are good.
movies,
No, yeah.
good watch. It's like
I thought Remember the Titans was really nice because it's also about like the social. Do you know what I mean? I think it's great film.
It is. I like it. It's good, but like those kind of like heartwarming, like those like The Blind Side's another one, really good movie. It's just like
overrated.
Those like cushy, like everybody, like we all just gonna love each other. Let's, you know,
I know
God, we gotta come together, boys. Like just they're good. They're good family movies, but like
I do like.
I'm
Remember the Titans,
32, and you know
I like Remember the Titans, but
it was a solid movie. I think it's overrated.
I thought The Blind Side was overrated too.
Yeah,
never seen
movie.
It, but figured it was.
I think Sandra Bullock is a sick actress.
Yeah, oh no, she is. She's
actress.
Wonderfully talented.
She's so
wonderfully talented.
Sick actress.
She was in Speed.
Yeah, she was.
Cans.
They were mad at the cans.
Yeah. We gotta hit the baby. All right. Are we gonna start doing this on this podcast too? I know we did it on the other one, but
all right. So I mean, you guys were saying that there was some sports left in the last.
Well, I thought, didn't you say that you were ending the podcast? I thought
I was ending that bit. I was ending that bit.
Okay.
You know, because you guys were going to talk about sports before we leave the sports part. Podcast. I thought
we can talk about. What have we got going on? I mean, UFC over the weekend.
You said you were.
Yeah.
Israel Adesanya.
What do we have to look forward to?
Yeah.
Israel. Okay, looking forward.
Israel Adesanya beat he had already beaten that guy who actually I watched
really
a
good.
little
Robert
bit of the
Whittaker's
highlights.
Really good.
He's good, and
he's
he like
really
it
good.
was a good fight. Like
Robert Whittaker defended the belt like 3 times.
Yeah, he didn't get knocked out, and he didn't
won the
get
last
submitted
round,
anything like that.
He just got point for 4 rounds.
I'm waiting for somebody that's a real. I think
in the middleweight division.
In the middleweight division, if someone was just an absolutely lockdown, astounding
I will give you
grappler or Brazilian jiu-jitsu guy, that's obviously Adesanya's weakness.
I got you right now. In 2 years' time, Sean Brady.
Okay, I'm not familiar with him.
He's ranked around 10th. He's ranked around 10th. I don't think he's ever lost in professional mixed martial arts.
Does he have any striking game?
Some,
does
but
he have
like
a
honestly,
decent striking game.
Like a little bit, but he's just a pure mauler.
Pure,
and like you know what,
ground and pound Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and you know what? That is, as long as you can eat one of Adesanya's shots on the way in, which you're gonna have to.
Yeah. Yeah,
as long as you can eat a shot on the way in,
he's
fight
with Israel
Adesanya
you're going to have to eat shots no matter what.
Sean
you're doing.
Brady is a horrible matchup.
So it's a matter of, are you going to stand up and take the shots,
he's
or are you
also-
going to shoot and try to get his legs, get him on the ground? You get Israel Adesanya on the ground, I guarantee your chances of winning or doing something productive go up 1,000%.
But
you immediately
the thing
become
about Brady is he needs to win at least 2 more fights, maybe 3.
Okay, like that's impossible.
Will take
no.
But I'm just saying that will take at least a year, maybe a year and a half. And Adesanya would have to defend at least 2 more times before.
Who is going to challenge Adesanya in that division? Is there anybody? I don't think he's going to go back
at the top of.
He's not going back to light heavyweight.
Trying to think
that's not
no,
happening.
that's not.
Who did he lose to again?
Blackowitz.
Oh yeah. Who is really good?
I mean, he lost to the best light heavyweight right now is Yuri Prochazka by a long way.
Yeah,
he's fucking nuts.
Well, what is he's not the who's the champion?
The champ
right
is Glover Teixeira, who's just holding it until Prochazka.
I always forget.
He's just the champ until Prochazka literally takes his head off.
Is Blachowicz getting another?
No, it'll be Prochazka next.
Well, what did
Prochazka destroyed Dominic Reyes.
Since Blachowicz lost to Teixeira, which I know wasn't that long, it was like 6 months
2,
ago.
No, 3 months max.
Oh yeah, okay. I knew it wasn't that long ago. What? So how would he not get? I mean, he's clearly has to be the number one
because they
contender.
really want to push Prochazka because he's so exciting and he's unexposed. He hasn't lost
I need to
anyone.
watch a little bit about.
He's fucking crazy, man. He's got this massive. He's white, but he's got like Derek Henry's ponytail.
He's Polish as well, correct?
They're Czech.
Hey,
Czech, that's
Polish.
Right, yeah.
He's what you call it. He's got
how many Poles that take down scroll light bulb?
He's got Derek Henry's ponytail sticking straight up out the top of the crown of his head. It's mental.
It's a Cam Newton job.
It's mental, but without any other hair. It just sticks straight out the top of his head.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. But he's definitely. I think the most. If we go through the divisions for like who we think will be champion this time next year, I'd say. Well, did you watch the Figueiredo Moreno fight? The 2 flyweights.
I saw. Well, I didn't watch it because I mean, I saw a little bit of the highlights, and I only watched those because you told me. Because I remember I was like, Moreno lost. I was surprised.
It was a robbery as well.
I don't think it was a robbery. I feel
like Moreno definitely won 3 rounds out of 5.
There was. I think it was like the 3rd round that Moreno definitely won. I thought, but it was a close fight the whole time.
It'll be one of them two. It'll be one of them two this time. I think they're going to run it back for a 4th. Yeah. I think that'll be the next title fight. I don't think anyone else.
What did the 4th? What do you mean?
Well, they've had fought 3 times.
Oh, Moreno and that guy?
Yeah, Figueiredo's won
even realize
twice. And the 3rd one was kind of contentious.
Yeah, no, I remember when Moreno originally won the belt. Yeah, no, I remember that happening and people being
that was
like,
a great fight.
Yeah,
that was the fight. It was got one fight of the year.
Yeah, he was bleeding out of his mouth. Moreno was bleeding out all orifices in his body.
Bantamweight Piotr Jan beat the shit out of Aljamain Sterling.
Yeah, Piotr Jan is just an absolute. As far as UFC fighters, I think pound for pound, Jan is probably the best fighter.
Usman's the best fighter.
I know.
There's absolutely no one who can touch him.
There's an argument for that, but who can touch Piotr Jan other than himself doing illegal kicks to the face? Like that's.
I'm think about
he'd be the champion right now if he hadn't done that. Like he was also beating Aljamain Sterling senseless.
Yeah,
like he was absolutely destroying the guy.
Featherweight.
He beat him so bad.
Featherweight division's interesting because Volkanovski's like. I don't think he's untouchable, but at the same time, I can't think of anyone in the featherweight.
Volkanovski, he's Australian.
Yeah, he's Australian.
Yeah. No, I've seen him. He's good. I'm not even sure.
Max Holloway's down there.
Yeah, Max. I feel like he's done.
T-City Ortega. Yeah, Holloway.
Holloway was great in 2016.
T-City Ortega, Korean Zombie.
How long is the Korean? He's another one. How long has he been
brawler,
around?
Man. He's a fucking brawler.
Yeah,
he's only like he's not. I don't think he's 30 though.
They call him the Korean Zombie because
he just walks forward
because of his ability to take
big shots.
Beatings,
yeah.
Which is just kind of
and give him out.
Which he does, but like his style is just basically getting his ass beat. Like when you get in a fight with him, and it's just like that's unsustainable. But somehow he's been a fighter in the in the UFC
Lightweight's
for like 10 years.
Lightweight's interesting. I think Charles Oliveira is the real deal. He is the real deal. He just beat Poirier again.
Yeah.
Well, he just defended against Poirier.
I feel like Poirier is really good. I feel like Poirier is underrated. People, I mean,
maybe.
People are like, oh, McGregor got, or they discredit his wins against McGregor.
I mean,
McGregor based on other. They're like, oh, he's not that good.
Well,
like,
McGregor is washed.
Yeah, McGregor is washed. Absolutely, he got that money went to his head.
Yeah, welterweight, no one's touching Usman.
Yeah, well, who would be the first? The fight that I am really actually
Covington
looking for,
and Masvidal.
Colby Covington, Masvidal. I think that they're both
be a really good one.
Both strikers, both brawlers.
Yeah, both brawlers. I think Sean Brady
ready
is on
to
that
go,
card as well.
motherfuckers.
I think
like,
Sean Brady's
they just
on
are
that
ready
card.
to kill it.
Yeah.
But once again, we are finished with the show. We're going to wrap up here. Thank you for listening. We really appreciate your viewership. Remy's got to smoke a cigarette.
Thanks, guys. Hey,
we're gonna get some. We're gonna get some stuff ready for next week.
Yeah.
All roads are leading to Cheltenham at the moment for me,
we'll
to be
have a bunch of stuff lined up. Eddie can talk a little horse racing next week.
No,
if
we
you'd
won't
like.
talk about
Maybe.
that. But I'm just saying that a lot of my
maybe.
focus in my life is going towards Cheltenham at the moment.
Yeah,
so.
no, I get it. We might have to. I think I'm going to have Caleb on the podcast, so me and him can do a basketball podcast.
I had a blast tonight.
So you can take the time off.
Guys.
Yeah.
Thanks,
well,
Remy.
thank you for coming. Glad we could get you included a little bit more into the action.
Yeah.
Get what's going on in that old head over there.
Good time.
We should
guys.
get Caleb
Good time,
on. And
guys.
Chris Gale last night said he wanted to be on it too. Which would be cool.
No, he can come, but I guarantee you, if it's me, him. Every time I'm around Caleb and Chris Gale, we all three get in an argument, a horrible, heated argument about basketball.
Yeah,
one of us brings up something that's like a little bit of a subject to the other one, and we will just start like I said, they called me at like 1 o'clock in the morning last night because they were arguing to bring me into the argument. I'm at home watching TV, and they're like, "We need you to get on this. Like we're screaming at each other over here. We needed you to."
Who was on Russell Westbrook's side?
Gale.
Yeah.
Gale was saying that Russell Westbrook's definitely going to get a triple-double, average a triple-double by the end of the season, and he's averaging like 7 assists. He's averaging like 20-something points a game.
So he's already got that, yeah.
He's got that, but that's not a question. More than 10 points a game is nothing, but he has 7 and 7 for assists and rebounds, which it's doable, but I don't think it's going to happen. He's just terrible.
Probably not, yeah.
Thank you guys for watching. We appreciate you. Love you all.
Hey, good night, everybody.
We will be back next week.
Good night.